Good morning, and thanks for starting your day with K-Bear 92.3. It's time for our update with Custer County Emergency Management. If you're joining us on Facebook Live or on K-Bear's YouTube channel this morning, you'll see that Mark Rempe is here, Custer County Emergency Manager, and you brought some gentlemen with you.
I have.
Introduce your guests.
Well, first I want to say, Adam, the decorations are awesome.
Oh, thank you.
They
Thank
look
you.
really good. Your staff did great.
Oh, they did great. They did awesome. I just went around and fixed what they did wrong.
With me today, I brought 2 of our 10 fire chiefs. Obviously, we weren't going to be able to cram all 10 of them in here with us, but I just kind of wanted to talk today a little bit about how I interact with the fire chiefs, and these are 2 chiefs that I interact with quite a bit. So we're just going to roll with these 2 and kind of let them explain a little bit how I help them in their jobs.
So we got Mr. Andrew Tickle with the Arnold Volunteer Fire Department. And we got Ernie Johnson from the Myrna Volunteer Fire Department with this morning. Thanks for coming in, guys. We appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate you doing this.
It's interesting to hear how the different departments interact from the Arnold perspective. Andrew, talk a little bit about this relationship and the communication that happens between Mark and you and the department.
Yeah. So, I mean, it is a great resource is what I view that as. Anytime we have a scene or something going on, it's nice to be able to have somebody call for anything that I need, when I'm busy in the middle of a scene. It is nice to be able to know I have a number I can call and those resources will be lined up, and I know it's going to be taken care of. And even pre-planning, we do a lot of pre-planning of different things that might possibly come across. Weather, we get hit first most really on the west side of the county with weather, and we have a lot of communication back and forth trying to let us know what's coming, and then I try to communicate that back to him, and he kind of lets people know across the county what we're seeing, which I know it changes as it goes across, but it's always good to be on top of things if we can, so we're not behind the 8 ball.
And Ernie, let's get some thoughts from you, especially when it comes to pre-planning and getting things ready for an emergency should it happen.
Oh yeah, well, Mark's usually ahead of the game on that one. Let's just go back to the weather thing. Mark is in constant touch with the National Weather Service, and if there's anything that could possibly come our way, he is always in touch with the rest of us chiefs, all 10 of us, and he makes our job easy, honestly.
Yeah, keeps you on alert when you need to be that way.
Yep.
So let's say we have an emergency situation. At that point, what does the communication look like between the fire departments and Mark? Is it the information coming from one direction and you're keeping Mark informed with what's happening on site, and then is he looking at it from like a bigger perspective? Is that kind of how that works?
I'll take a little bit of this one.
Yeah.
So like you were mentioning there with the pre-plan, we kind of worked that out. We've learned over the 12 years of my career here. We know that if Andrew has something going on, he lets me know. Okay, well, I might reach out to Ernie because they are neighbors, or Anselmo because they are neighbors, and say, hey, be ready. And they do a really good job of that. When they communicate that with me, we're sharing that. Obviously, that makes the reaction a lot faster and a lot easier. It takes pressure off of the chiefs and some of the fire departments. So
communication, I think that's the key behind it. If we have something going on, most generally the dispatch, it also goes back to dispatch. We'll let him know if we have something going on, and then he just, if he knows what's going on, he likes to reach out. If you need anything, I'm here. And it's just literally a resource and be able to communicate. If you can communicate and be ahead and know what's going on and know the possibilities, what might be needed, it just goes a lot better. It's that go back to not being behind the 8 ball thing.
The public is always curious about what's going on during an emergency. They want information, and being Nebraskans, they also want to help. They want to pitch in, and there's a time for that, and then there's a time to lay back. But you have everyone's ear this morning. What are some things that you would like the general public to know when it comes to, let's say, an emergency situation is in progress? Things can be a little bit different depending on the particular situation. But is there a message that you'd like to let them hear?
To me, I like them to know that we are continually working together and trying to pre-plan, to train, to be able to be a smooth operating deal in the middle of chaos. I know sometimes scenes look like they're absolute chaos, but there has been a lot of communications and a lot of work behind the scenes before the things happen. Every scene's a new scene, but we most certainly are planned a lot of these things ahead and trying to be able to be prepared as we can for these things and make it go as smooth as possible.
Ernie?
I think he covered most of that.
Very good. Mark, any thoughts on that too?
I would actually.
Yeah.
A lot of times it looks like we're just running around. You know, you see a fire truck go from this side, all of a sudden they're streaking over to that side. Or you hear on the radio that there's impending doom coming from a tornado. Always know that this group of fire chiefs is in constant communication. Most generally, I'm sitting in their hip pocket in case they need something, but these guys do a very good job of getting information out that's factual. If it's coming from these guys, it's really good to trust it. We do work. We've learned our lessons a little bit here over the last couple of years. We try to reach out to both radio stations, honestly, and try to share that information so people can relax a little bit with that. They know that, oh, our fire department's on this. We got this. These guys are good, guys and girls. Sorry. So I do think it's important to know that we do work with that. There is more to it than just that. You know, we're ahead of the time, we're in the time, and we're after the time. So even after the events are over, I'm still working with these guys, making sure they get what they want. You know, Ernie and Broken Bow, these guys went through a big fire. There was a massive amount of paperwork that happened after that. And we always try to help them out with that stuff.
Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of our listeners probably don't think about or don't realize. I think for folks that want to get involved and are able, the fire departments are always looking for members, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's a
Yes.
problem across Nebraska with aging or shrinking departments.
Volunteerism is on, I think if you look overall, not just in departments, but look at all of your other groups that are in communities, it's one of those things that have dwindled down, but people willing to show up and willing to volunteer is very much needed in small communities.
EMS as well.
Yeah, and you know, we need all the help we can get, and it's getting harder and harder to find. And you know, the reality of it is we all have jobs. So when there is a call of any sort, it's still hard to get enough people there. Therefore, we have to actually rely on our neighbor departments to help us out too. So the more volunteers, the better off we are.
Well, we appreciate the work all three of you do, and the other departments, chiefs, members, everyone, in keeping Custer County safe.
I got one more for you.
Yep.
And I'm just going to throw a huge shout out to our fire and ambulance personnel in this county. We have a really good group of firemen and EMTs. Their response and their professionalism is really top notch. I've worked in different places around, and I've had the privilege of working with really good people. This county's teamwork puts everything I've ever seen and experienced to shame. These guys do a really good and awesome job.
Nice work. We appreciate it. Thank you so much. Mark, Andrew, Ernie, thanks for coming by this morning. We appreciate it.
Thanks
for having
That's the Custer County Emergency Management Update.